I've been putting this off for a while. This has been in the works for some time, but now is finally the time to talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold for a number of different reasons. I mean, it's a story that has been going all season pretty much, this being his final season of his current contract at Liverpool Football Club. I think very much right now we know where his future is lying, and it is not at Anfield, it is very much at Real Madrid. But before we talk about the speculation about him going there, because right now it is still speculation, it is not confirmed, although I will of course talk about the interview that he did after the game at the weekend. Leicester City played against Liverpool this weekend. It was significant for a number of different reasons. The biggest one arguably being that Leicester City are now officially relegated to the Championship, although we knew that was coming. That has been coming for a long time. Southampton went a couple of match days ago. Leicester are gone now. Ipswich, they're probably going to go very soon as well before this current week is out, most likely, just with how results are. So that's significant. So sorry for Leicester fans, but it's been coming. This is not a surprise. And I think this game as well did mark the fact that now, 10 games in a row, something like that, Leicester City have not scored in at home in a row. They have lost all of those games. They very much deserve to be relegated, and they've gone down with an absolute whimper, as have all the free promoted sides. And I've covered all that extensively in some other videos, so you guys can check that out. My kind of rants on PSR, on the promoted 3 sides, and how we're probably going to see a repeat of it again next season. I don't really see it changing personally, but anyway, let's talk about Trent. He is the subject of this video. Let's go into this, because a while ago I did a video going over Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold, and basically saying that all 3 of these guys, they still are not signed up for next season for Liverpool. All their contracts are running out, and in theory, of course, that means that in the summer, as things stand, they of course could all leave on a free transfer. Since then, things have changed, as of course Van Dijk and Salah have now signed on for a number of more years, probably for a decent wage hike as well. They're both absolutely worth it. They are both fantastic. Despite being naught for 30 years of age, I think they still got at least another 2-3 seasons left in them at the very top level, if not even more, particularly with Salah. That guy can go till he's 40. I reckon he really can. He can be like a Ronaldo type figure. Whether he can still do it on a Champions League club, a Premier League club kind of level like he is for Liverpool right now, for that amount of time remains to be seen, but it's not completely unheard of course. But yeah, let's talk about Trent, because he of course is not signed up. So in theory, his contract's running out in the summer and he will go somewhere else. You think by now if he was going to sign, he would have signed for Liverpool, especially with those 2 signing as well. And I feel like potentially the fact that Trent has finally said to Liverpool officially, no, I am not going to stay. I mean, it's not public obviously, but behind closed doors, he might well have said to them, yeah, I'm off. I'm going. And because of that, they've now got a bit more money to spend on Salah and Van Dijk, and that helped get both of those deals behind, over the line. That's my kind of thoughts on that potentially. But Trent, he had a really good game. He scored the only goal of this game against Leicester, a left-footed kind of volley, half volley, after a kind of like a fight in the corner, after a corner, I should say, really. Liverpool absolutely dominated this game. It really shouldn't have been 1-0. It should have been a lot more to Liverpool. Leicester, of course, did actually score in this one, but it was offside. Was disallowed, I should say. It was for a foul on the goalkeeper, was that. But yeah, Liverpool hitting the post a lot, coming close a lot, some decent saves from their goalkeeper as well in the Leicester City net. But just the way that Trent celebrated, just ripped his shirt off. Well, he didn't rip it off. He took it off, ran to Liverpool fans in the corner of the stadium at Leicester. And the interview as well he did with Sky Sports, being like, look, I'm not going to comment on my situation. I'm going to say the same thing I've said all season. I'm glad for my moments here. I'm grateful to the fans. All the usual spiel, you get with this sort of thing. And if I was in his position, you got to do it. You got to toe the party line. You can't go ruining this kind of title charge that Liverpool are on at the moment. He's going to reveal that he's going to go to Real Madrid, but it's going to be literally an hour or 2 after the open top bus parade around Liverpool City Centre. And, he should absolutely be allowed to enjoy it. Of course, Liverpool have won a Premier League in Trent's time at the club, but that was during the pandemic, so they couldn't really celebrate it with their own fans. Yes, they got to lift the Premier League trophy. Yes, that is an honour that will be on their honour board forever, and so it should be, but it won't feel the same as what this will. This will feel a lot better, because because, of course, there's not all the doom and gloom around the world. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of doom and gloom around the world these days, but at least the fans can go out, have a few beers, have a few more beers, and celebrate and enjoy themselves, you know? And I'm really looking forward to seeing that. This win does very much see them to that. I think they can win the Premier League in the next match day if they win and Arsenal lose or something like that. Even if they win, the title battle is, I mean, it's been over for some time, but it'll be over officially very, very soon. Arsenal, the only team that can catch Liverpool. There's 5 games remaining, and right now there is a 13-point gap between these two sides. On top of that, Arsenal have a worse goal difference than Liverpool, so realistically, if they were, you know, even if it could catch them, realistically, they need to get a better goal difference. They'd have to get 14 points. There's 15 points left to play for. You do the maths. Liverpool win the next game. They are champions. No matter what Arsenal do, Arsenal could win 10-0 and they still would not have a shot of the title at that point. But yeah, it does seem as though he's going. And, you know, there's been a lot said about this. There's a lot of some fans, a very small minority of Liverpool fans, doing some pretty horrid things. I've spoke about it briefly before on here. I just think it's pathetic, to be honest with you. Is it a surprise? No. Especially in a club as massive as Liverpool, you're always going to get some idiots following you. You know, the fans actually going to the stadium, the fans actually going to the games home and away. Those are the real fans, and they absolutely love him. The vast majority of Liverpool fans will love him as well. It'll just be that few percent or so that are bitter about him going. But, you know, he has won everything with Liverpool. Why not go and test yourself at another club like Real Madrid? They're arguably the biggest club in the world, undoubtedly the biggest club in terms of the success they've had in the Champions League over the years. And yes, they could, of course, win more Champions League and more titles with Liverpool, but wouldn't you want to... People will always say, if he didn't move, if he spent his entire career at Liverpool, right, everybody would say the same thing. Oh, well, he never did it at another club. But then if he moves to Real Madrid, some people might say, oh, well, he's a traitor, he's a Judas, he left Liverpool, he did them dirty. Well, not really. He won everything with them, literally everything. Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, EFL Cup, Community Shield, Super Cup, a lot. He's won everything. So, yeah, I am very much in the camp of, you know, good luck to him. I hope it works out. Sad to see him go from the Premier League, but, you know, you think about that right-back position for Real Madrid. Danny Carvajal isn't getting any younger. He's had a lot of injury problems recently. It seems like the perfect time for them to get a new right-back in. And what better right back than Trent Alexander-Arnold? He will absolutely tear up La Liga. With his passing range, he'll be not that dissimilar to David Beckham. The crosses that he'll be floating in, the free kicks that he can hit. This is a kid who is seriously talented, and I can't wait to see what he'll do at Real Madrid. He's going to be a scary prospect in that team. Him firing balls into the likes of Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe up front. Woo. that is scary. That is scary for any other team to face. So yeah, I think it's all fair enough. I think he's going. I mean, we already thought that, but he's 100% going now. I think that's pretty clear. But guys, what do you think? Liverpool fans, are you disappointed to see him go? You know, it's going to be a bit bittersweet when that gets announced. But at the end of the day, he's going out on a high. He's going to win the Premier League with your team. So, you know, it could be worse. It could be worse. I bet you're more happy about Salah and Van Dijk staying, because it was looking as though they might have both moved on, and thankfully they are both staying. And I know a lot of Liverpool fans would probably say that Van Dijk and Salah, particularly Salah, is much more important, and I would agree with that personally. I think Salah is without doubt a more important player than Trent is for Liverpool. Liverpool can get a great right back, and they could still be one of the best teams in the Premier League. Without Salah, Liverpool, maybe they don't get top 4. Genuinely, he's that good. The amount of goal contributions that he has and the level that he performs at, he's that good. He can make that much of a difference, personally. But that's just my take. What's yours? Let us know in the comments below. And for much more news and opinions on the world of football, keep it tuned here to thefootballchronicle.com. A fantastic day, guys. See you very soon for some more content just like this on the channel.